What if the school bully picked on the wrong outsider? What if the most popular girl in school made one fatal mistake, choosing the quiet new girl to humiliate? This inspirational story follows Sloane Mercer, a reserved transfer student who becomes the primary target of Chloe Sterling, the undisputed queen bee of Northwood Academy. Chloe thinks Sloane is a charity case, a nobody, a target for her next viral video. What she doesn't realize is that Sloane has a connection so legendary, it will shatter the school's social hierarchy forever. Stay until the end, because what begins as a mean girl's game will end in her absolute social exile. Sloane Mercer stepped out of her aunt's old sedan, adjusting the sleeves of her oversized vintage jacket as she looked up at the pristine glass facade of Northwood Academy in Seattle, Washington. The chilly morning mist clung to the pine trees surrounding the campus. Students moved in polished groups, their designer sneakers clicking against the pavement, a sharp contrast to Sloane's worn-out combat boots. Sloane was used to being the new face. This was her third move in 18 months. Most kids moved because of a parent's promotion. Sloane moved because she lived a life that required her to stay off the radar. She pulled her beanie low and walked toward the main hall, hoping to be nothing more than a shadow in the background. A few girls in matching tennis skirts whispered as she passed, but she didn't give them a second of her time. Northwood Academy was a playground for the elite, private tutors, summer homes in the Hamptons, a social ladder made of glass and ego. None of that mattered to Sloane. She had one rule: don't make waves. Inside, the atmosphere was thick with the scent of expensive perfume and privilege. Sloane navigated the hallways with a quiet intensity, memorizing the layout, identifying the exits, and spotting the royalty. That's when she saw Chloe Sterling, blonde, sharp-featured, holding a phone like it was a scepter. She stood in the center of the student lounge, surrounded by a court of admirers, filming a day-in-the-life vlog for her 500,000 followers. Even from across the room, Sloane saw through the filter. Entitlement. The kind of power that relied on making others feel small to stay tall. Sloane knew the type perfectly. The influencer, the daughter of a tech mogul, the girl who never heard the word no. But Sloane saw the truth behind the camera lens. The way Chloe's smile dropped the second the recording stopped. The way she treated her friends like unpaid assistants. Arrogance, cruelty. Sloane didn't want to be part of the content, but Chloe needed a villain for her story. As Sloane walked toward her locker, Chloe stepped out, her phone camera pointed directly at Sloane's face. Sloane's shoulder hit the locker as she tried to avoid the lens. "And here we have it, guys," Chloe said to her followers, her voice dripping with fake pity. "The newest addition to Northwood. I think she's lost. The thrift store is 3 blocks that way." The lounge erupted in giggles. Sloane stopped, her jaw tightening as she looked at the phone. "Turn it off," Sloane said, her voice low and steady. Chloe smirked, stepping closer, the camera never wavering. "Oh, look, the mystery girl speaks. Is that a threat? Or are you just shy because of that outfit?" Sloane didn't look at the camera. She looked at Chloe. The hallway grew quiet as the live stream viewers climbed. Sloane reached out and gently pushed the phone down. "I'm giving you a chance to be a better person. Take it." Chloe's face twisted in a mask of disgust. "You're giving me a chance? Do you even know who my father is?" Sloane didn't blink. "It doesn't matter who he is. It matters who you're choosing to be." Chloe laughed, a shrill, mocking sound. "You're a joke, a literal nobody." Sloane turned and walked away. Chloe had no idea that she had just invited a storm she couldn't weather. The day continued, but the harassment didn't stop.
Chloe posted candid photos of Sloane all day, mocking her shoes, her hair, her silence. Sloane stayed in the shadows, calm. She spent her lunch in the back of the art room, watching as Chloe's posts gained thousands of likes. Chloe thought she was winning. She didn't know Sloane was just collecting data. After the final bell, the Seattle rain began to fall. As Sloane stood under the awning of the student entrance, Chloe and her group surrounded her. Hey, nobody, Chloe sneered, holding her phone up again. The bus is late. Want me to call you an Uber? Or do you even have an app for that on that ancient phone? What do you want, Chloe? Sloane asked, her voice flat as the gray sky. I want you to admit you don't belong here. I want you to apologize for the attitude this morning. Sloane let out a soft, weary sigh. It wasn't a sigh of defeat. It was the sigh of someone who knew what was about to happen. I told you this morning to be better, Sloane said. You chose this. Chloe stepped into Sloane's space, her expensive highlights getting damp in the rain. And what are you going to do? Tell on me? Sloane leaned in, her voice a razor-thin whisper. No, I'm just going to let my ride home handle it. Chloe rolled her eyes. Your ride? What, is the garbage truck coming for you? Sloane stepped back, pulled a small device from her pocket, and pressed a button. A sleek vintage black 1969 Mustang Mach 1 roared into the school driveway, the engine growling like a caged beast. Every student stopped, every phone turned toward the car. The door swung open. Keanu Reeves stepped out, adjusting his suit jacket, looking every bit like a man you shouldn't cross. Chloe's phone literally slipped from her hand, hitting the pavement with a crack. Her friends turned pale. Sloane walked down the steps and met him. Hey, Uncle Keanu, she said with a small smile. Keanu looked at Chloe, then back at Sloane. He didn't need to yell. His presence alone was enough to make the air feel heavy.
Everything okay, Sloane? He asked, his voice calm but layered with protective steel. Sloane looked at Chloe, who was now trembling, unable to find a single word. It is now, Sloane said. In an instant, Chloe's empire vanished. From that day forward, the atmosphere at Northwood flipped. The students who had laughed at Chloe's videos now saw her for what she was, a bully who had finally hit a wall. Her follower count plummeted. Her friends disappeared. The girl who lived for attention was suddenly the one everyone avoided. Chloe tried to play the victim, claiming Sloane had intimidated her, but Sloane remained silent, and that silence was the loudest response of all. She didn't need to fight back. She let Chloe's own actions destroy her. 1 week later, a new video went viral. It wasn't a vlog. It was a compilation of every security feed and deleted clip of Chloe's bullying over the last year. It showed her mocking staff, stealing from the drama department, and orchestrating the harassment of younger students. The school board didn't care who her father was. The evidence was undeniable. Chloe Sterling was expelled by the end of the day. Sloane hadn't leaked the video. She had just known exactly where the school's IT server was and who to tip off. When Chloe walked out of the school for the last time, her head down, she saw Sloane sitting on a bench, reading a book. Why? Chloe whispered, her eyes red. You could have just told me who you were related to. Sloane looked up, her expression peaceful. If I had told you, you would have been nice to me because of him. I wanted to see if you could be nice because of me. You failed the test. Chloe walked away, a ghost in the very halls she used to rule. That afternoon, the black Mustang was waiting. Is she gone? Keanu asked as Sloane hopped in. Sloane nodded. Yeah, she's gone. Keanu smiled. You didn't have to say much, did you? The truth usually speaks for itself, Sloane replied. As they drove away from Northwood, the weight of the past year finally lifted. Sloane had won, not with fame or fortune, but with patience, character, and the quiet strength of knowing exactly who she was. And Chloe Sterling? She was the ultimate proof. Power built on the misery of others is just a house of cards. And sometimes the quiet girl in the back of the class is the one who holds the match.